26 and 7 there, we read even prior to that when it says, and he stretches out the north over uh, empty space. And uh, that's something that is still a little bit of debate because uh, we find that that portion of space is a void. It appears to be empty. There are not stars and planets that are there. And that, like I say, has also been brought into question. But this goes back to 2007. It's not that far back,
Yeah.
but it hasn't necessarily been repealed in an understanding since then. But taking the Great Array and a large time of study, we find that scientists have come to the conclusion, or many have at least anyway, some still challenge it. And one of the reasons that it's challenged is because Job mentions, as I think, if
Yeah,
that wasn't the
I
case,
think
because
so. Yeah.
I've read others, that said, yeah, well, that's just like, those, Bible believers, what they think. But they found this void, this empty place in space, and you can look it up and you can see pictures of it from, what they have collected and put together, just like they do in this astronomy. It's just that they're copyrighted, and so I can't show them on here. But if you look at that, you can see, well, yeah, there is this great void, and during that time of all that measuring and such, they say that space, that void, is like 1 billion light years wide, and
Wow.
and
That's quite
and
a,
at its depth of seeing looking as far as they can look, that void extends as far as the best that they can calculate, or come to determine a measurement on. And there's a bit of a gap in that, but 6 billion to 10 billion light years deep.
wow.
There's
Wow.
nothing there for six, if you were to travel 6 billion light years, or even up to 10 billion light years. And to kind of give a perspective on that, a billion, we toss that around so easily today, people that are billionaires, and
Yeah.
even a trillion. And I think you
Yeah.
were talking about maybe last week or week before about, the trillion and how many zeros would that be. Well, if you were to count to a billion, and you just, okay, and you said 1, 2, 3, 4, and you did that every second, it would take over 30, almost 32 years to count to a billion.
Wow.
Counting a number by, and so that's what we're talking about. And then the speed of light, 186,000 miles per second.
Second.
Yeah. Can go around the earth like 8 times in a second,
Yeah.
and it'd take you that long to travel it. Well, when he says he stretched out the north over the empty space, I mean, that is, to me, a very significant uh, 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 amount of void.
And you think about it, why would Job say that? I mean, if they didn't have telescopes or anything, he's just looking up at the sky. If you're just looking at the sky with your naked eye, there's a lot of empty spaces.
Right.
It's not one big solid light.
Right.
Why would he even say that? And only the creator could have known that.
That's right. And so I have, and I'll share with you, some of the, well, at least really the objection to all of this. And some go, well, there's not a big hole. That's the title of one of the scientific articles, this big hole in space. And they go, well, it's not really a hole. There is something, there's gases there, there's dust there, but but there's no heavenly bodies. There's not suns, stars, planets, things like that in this void. But anyway, they go, so it's not really empty. It's not like there's absolutely nothing there, and it's gases that hold that expansion, that hold that hole open. And so, so see, there's something there. Well, the word that Job used there, that's translated empty, and empty is not a bad word for it. In fact, in these scientific articles, they call it a hole, even though, because that's what it is in appearance.
Uh-huh.
Well, that's the same word that's used of the earth in creation in Genesis 1:2. It's void. Well, there was water there, there was a
Right,
lot going on,
right.
in this planet. Doesn't mean there wasn't necessarily absolutely nothing there. It's the word that's used in Job chapter 12 and in verse 24 when he talks about, the wilderness and the wilderness areas. Well, we realize that there can be rocks there, there can be, a lot of
Sand and
things
whatever.
there,
Yeah.
sand, dust,
Right.
there's air there. So in a sense, uh, some type of gases, we might say. And but we understand the point. It's empty, it's wasteless. There's
It's
not much
void of
there to
anything.
say.
Yeah. Yeah. Of anything substantial.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
We hope you found this clip beneficial. If you'd like to see the entire video, just click on the link.